Welcome back.
Hey everybody! So today we're talking about a world-renowned scientist you knew that you ended up going on a trip on. So how the heck did that happen?
I was in the prepaid department in reservations for TWA in St. Louis, and I rarely talk to the public. However, Professor Kreidl, who was at Rolla School of Mines,
Which
at,
was his name, right?
right,
Professor.
Professor Norbert Kreidl,
Hmm.
he turned out to be uh, traveling a lot, complicated traveling, complicated. So, again, I wouldn't usually talk to the public, but I'd get a call from the res agent that would say, Professor Kreidl's on the phone for you. I said, okay, good. I would make a reservation for him. He would, again, he was teaching in Rolla, but he would travel the world and he would get prepaids in a different form of currency from wherever he was going. So he would call me, and I'd make the reservation, send the request for the prepaid. He'd get a prepaid from Cairo, Egypt, from a university over there, and that would be in Egyptian pounds, would come into our office. And then he'd get another prepaid from the United States Naval Academy, and he would go on a GTR, government travel request, that was in dollars, and that would have to be transferred. And he'd want to travel from St. Louis to LA to Guam and give a talk or a speech. And because he was from Vienna, Austria, then he'd want to travel from Guam to LA, over to Vienna, Austria, and finally from Vienna to Cairo, and then TWA from Cairo, New York, St. Louis. So complicated. Fun. I turned out to be his personal travel agent. He would lose a bag or something wherever he was, and he'd call our 800 number.
So he didn't live here. He was from Vienna. Did
He
he
was
have
from
like
Vienna, Austria.
an accent or
He
anything
had a
like that?
wonderful Viennese accent, kind of hard to understand. Oh, and then once we would get the ticket all finished and make his reservation, he'd come in from Rolla and go to the Clayton City ticket office and pick up his ticket. But he always called me from wherever he was. He didn't want to talk to anybody else. We became friends over the phone. So one time, he calls, and I'm making a reservation for him. And I look at the dates, and I'm like, Professor Kreidl.
Wait, actually, real quick. Sorry, I don't want to stop you, but then he ended up liking you so much he wrote a letter. Am I correct?
I think so. Yeah, he wrote a complimentary letter. So it's from the School of Mines of Meteorology, Department of Ceramic Engineering. This was February 28th, 1975. And F.C. Weiser was our president in New York. So he writes this to the big guy. Dear Mr. Weiser, for the past 8 years, I have been flying on university business 50,000 miles per year with a large share of TWA flights. In most cases, I enjoy the efficiency of close cooperation between Essex Travel in Newark, New Jersey, and TWA personnel. In some cases, important for the university and myself, complicated trips. Oh, yeah. Never large distances have to be assembled and modified from government-issued tickets or scripts. In these cases, we depend on unusual care and or we'll lose the funds or abandon the plans. I wish to commend the outstanding help we have received for the past years, and again, right now, from the nearest prepaid office here in St. Louis, in particular from Miss Tanya Tassoni, who, on the basis of brief and concise telephone contact, I talk fast, has solved our problems with competence and kindness beyond the line of duty. I felt that I should express to you my appreciation for the TWA service I enjoy. Sincerely, Norbert J. Kreidl, Professor Emeritus.
That's pretty awesome, actually.
So I'm talking to him, and I look at the dates, and I'm like, wait a minute. I'm going on a trip with 4 of my friends, and we're going to be in Cairo the same time you are. We made a date. We met at the Cairo Hilton. I think it's the Ramsey's Hilton now. And this was in 87, in the 70s, late 70s. We fly over. Now, and the other part, let me back up. These friends that went with me worked at the rate desk. So they knew how complicated his itinerary. In fact, they would work on him all the time. So this was fun. We go to the Cairo Hilton. We're in this little lunch counter. And for somehow, I remember that there was a spiral staircase. And we look up, and here is this wonderful man with this wild hair, glasses, climbing down this spiral staircase, and he has purple tennis shoes with pink socks. I mean, just like it was wonderful. What was amazing, all five of us are sitting there. Sonny Van Pelt-Fennerin was born in Excelsior Springs, Missouri, just outside Kansas City. And that came into the conversation, and turns out that he knew people in Excelsior Springs. There is a conclave of scientists that get together in Excelsior. So he was fun. It was just a wonderful experience. I was then invited to be at his birthday party.
Which we have another letter for if you'd like to read for us.
This is from the Department of Materials Science and Engineering, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, January 24th, 1984. It's pretty cool. Remember, I'm just a little gal from St. Louis, Missouri, and this guy's world-renowned. Dear Tanya Sassoni, as you know, Norbert Kreidl will celebrate his 80th birthday on July 1st, 1984. I'm going to be 80 next month. To commemorate this auspicious occasion, a special symposium on glass is being organized during the week beginning July 1st. And again, this is in 1984.
Which I believe he was a professor on glass was his specialty, correct?
Yes, he was a professor on glass. That was his specialty. Because of Norbert's early and continuing association with the city and its distinguished university, the symposium will be held in Vienna, Austria. The technical sessions of the symposium will occupy many of the daytime hours during the week, but the evenings will be devoted to a variety of social affairs oriented around Norbert's life, times, and accomplishments. Knowing of your long and close friendship with Norbert, I would like to invite you to join us in Vienna next July and to participate in the proceedings. With a suitable representation of Norbert's close friends as well as professional colleagues, the week should be memorable, one for all of us, and particularly for our guest of honor. In addition, I would appreciate your sending me your favorite Norbert story, your favorite incident or event involving Norbert, which can be accompanied by a photograph if appropriate. I propose to assemble these for presentation to him on the banquet on July 3rd. Speaking for members of the organizing committee as well as myself, I hope it will be possible for you to join us. I know that your being there will greatly add to Norbert's enjoyment of the occasion. Finally, for purposes of our planning, I would appreciate an early indication of whether you can be with us. Further details will be sent in future mailings. Cordially, Donald Ullman. I did not go. I'm going to be for a week with all these notable world-renowned leaders? So I didn't. I declined. And then I found out that he passed away very shortly after that. So it was a really wonderful friendship. We had a great time, and I want to thank you for listening. So the next time, since this is my Galabea and my Ankh and my Cartouche, we will go to Egypt. There were 5 of us that went on this last trip that met Norbert. So, ma salama, shukran.